What a very good day out there, viewers. Welcome to another of my broadcasts as regarding TBC, the billion coin. Today, we are going to be talking about an unseen resource that we living beings have, which seems to be untapped, that is not yet to be tapped, or underutilized. That is, we don't use that resource which we human beings have. We don't use it up to the capacity. We are underutilizing that resource, and that very resource is actually our numbers. Now, the purpose of this broadcast is to help us all in the community of our TBC, and even those outside the community, to understand the power that we living souls have on earth, and that power which we have is actually tremendous to free ourselves away from poverty and lack. And by that, I titled this my TBC broadcast, The Living Man's Value, TBC Value. I take that once again, that is the living man's value, TBC value. And this is actually gotten from the articles on the TBC blog by the title, The Living Man is More Valuable Than Gold. The living man is more valuable than gold. All right, so let's start. Let's get into it proper. So to start with, what is a living man? To ask, could it be said that a living man is just by the breathing or just by the heartbeat? Are we only talking about the body? I mean the human body. What about the mind? And what about the mind's unquantifiable resource and assets? That is that which cannot be measured as regarding the mind, that resource and the assets. All right. So talking about a living man, could it just be the spirits, or could we say is there any spirit involved? And what about what is known as a free will? And by free will, I mean the power to freely, desire and achieve, to desire anything and achieve it. So the beauty, the beautiful, complexity of a living man is so amazing. And the living man was not meant to be captured or enslaved, not to be caged. So I understand this, that to actually capture or enslave a living man is clearly a wrong and indeed a great evil to mankind. So this very scenario of caging a man, which is taken to be a great evil to humankind, is actually the principle that brought TBC, which is the billion coin, to be. And what I mean by that is the rule, the law that gave birthright to TBC to make right that which is wrong, or which was wrong as concerning human beings, that is caging the human beings, enslaving the human beings mentally, then taking what ought to be their birthright, which is abundance, away from them, and then enslaving them altogether in poverty. So we should understand one thing, or consider one fact also, and that is when the Holy Book recorded that the Creator saying to man that he created, and he said to him that be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. So I want to believe that you yourself, you will believe with me that the Creator never withheld the freedom for man to flourish. He never, the Creator never, withheld from man the freedom to subdue, to flourish, for man to actually dominate, to live in abundance, and the abundance of all good things. However, the living man has actually gotten it wrong somehow. And somewhere, or should I say living man has gotten that wrong everyhow and everywhere. So by subduing themselves, and God said subdue. When God said subdue, he never meant that a man should subdue himself. So meaning that right now a living man is no longer subduing his environment or other creatures. Is no longer subduing what is known to be the environmental factors, but rather subduing a living man just like himself, and that is evil. In fact, that is a great evil to mankind, and that very wrong is what TBC is here to actually fix, and fix once and for all. So we should understand this also, that the value of a living man is truly unending. The value which a living man possesses is unending, and the value of a living man is not limited. This truth which can be further buttressed by another saying of the Holy Book, and that says, that verse of the Holy Book says, you are wonderfully and fearfully made. So although in these modern times that we are, this very truth has actually been cleverly hidden, and it has been it has been hidden when compared to how it was previously well being known throughout the ages. So that the value of a living man is not limited. No wonder the Holy Book also says that you are wonderfully and fearfully and wonderfully made. So by that, we people living on the surface of earth right now, we should understand that we are wonderful creations. Altogether, we are wonderful creations. All right, thank you. So understand that TBC, which is the billion coin, is actually a reawakening to that internal truth, that a living man, the value of him is not limited. His value is unlimited. It's actually an internal truth. So, and TBC is actually here to give us a call, a reawakening call to that particular internal truth. So, from the start, it happens that a TBC has been moving forward on the basis of agreements, and by that, I mean that all members of a TBC community agree that this coin, which is TBC, will never go down in value, and that it can only go up in price. TBC, the billion coins value, will only go up in value, and this agreement is actually attached to a software program that drives the price of TBC upward, and it does that by 1% or 5% daily, and that continues until it reaches the ultimate price. The ultimate price, which is 1 TBC being equal to, in value, 1 TBC being equal in value to 1 billion euro, which is actually the euro currency. So it happens that this fact is one of the reasons why TBC is actually given the name the billion coin, meaning that its ultimate price will actually climax at 1 billion euro per TBC coin, meaning that is the climax of the value of 1 TBC will actually and will eventually be equal to 1 billion of euro, which is actually the euro currency. So that means that anyone that is holding even just a 1 TBC today, the fellow could become a billionaire someday. All right, thank you. So it happens that we in TBC, we are privates, and we are always have been privates, and we will always be privates. So it happens that a man also uses a medium of exchange to transact, and medium of exchange, by this, what I mean that by that is money. That is, a man uses money to transact, and this Kringle private society, this our TBC private society, has a medium of exchange which is known as a TBC, and the TBC having its smaller unit which is called Kringles. So understand that Kringles allow TBC members to transact with one another on a peer-to-peer basis privately, and note that again, that is the transaction is done privately. So we being a private society, so this is not in any way a public medium of exchange. A Kringle at present is not yet a public medium of exchange. It happens that the collective membership of living men, living women, and their living children made up the total value of this medium of exchange, which is kringles, and that living souls form its value. That is the value of the kringle, which we are talking about, is actually being established or formed by the numbers of these living souls. So I mean the numbers of we human beings that we are present in this private community of TBC. So understand that there, in that sense, we can ask, then how do we now compare this medium of exchange with the other mediums of exchange that is present throughout the world? So that is actually compared by our mutual agreement in which we have granted ourselves to our mother earth by measuring our medium of exchange with grains of gold. So this also enabled us to calculate how our medium of exchange, which is TBC, or the unit of TBC, which is kringles, relates to all other medium of exchange that is present around the world. So it happens that our research has shown that there can be some confusion regarding jurisdiction when we all when any form rather of a fiat is mentioned within our publication and the broadcast. I take that once again. So it happens that our research has shown that there can be some confusion regarding jurisdiction when any form of a fiat is mentioned within our publications. I mean the publications and the broadcasts as relating to our TBC community. So jurisdictions greedily reach out to lay claim whenever a chance of winning can be found. So to clearly denote that the jurisdiction of a TBC and a Kringle society are not of a private non-public group. I repeat, to clearly denote that the jurisdiction of a TBC and the Kringle society are that of a private non-public group. So we have made it clear that our members are the basis of the value of established that is at the basis of the value of our medium of exchange, that we only measure the value in grains of gold, and it has also been established clearly that a TBC is not backed by gold, and we are not to be pegged with gold. All right, so what this is saying altogether is that when we measure gold and in relation to the value of a TBC, we only use that to give a definition to the value of TBC, but it's not that we have our existence in TBC. What we have our existence in is in the value of our numbers. That is the value which God Himself has given to us, and even by what I quoted earlier, that is God Himself said to man that he should increase, he should subdue, he should dominate. And that is what we are actually establishing in TBC. So taking that once again, so to clearly denote that the jurisdiction of a TBC and the Kringle society are not that of a private non-public group, we have made it clear that our members are the basis of the value. That is, the members is actually the value, that is the source of the value of our medium of exchange, which is either TBC or Kringle, and we only measure that a particular value in grains of gold. So it has also been established clearly that a TBC is not backed by gold, and we are not pegged to gold. Our association to gold is only a definition of a measurement of value only. That is, we mentioning gold or bringing in gold as relating to the value of a TBC. We only use that to give it definition and nothing beyond definition. So henceforth, members of a TBC shall stop, and by that I mean members of TBC shall cease to using any form of a fiat to describe the value of TBC, and should embrace measuring that value in gold, that is measuring the value of TBC in gold. So in addition, we should note that the admin fee is now 4 grains of gold, and the minimum amount of a transaction to gain the related cookie reward is 40. That is the lifetime wallet fee to be paid to the TBC admin is now 4 grains. Is no longer $10, which is dollar is a fiat currency. So we are scrapping that altogether. We wouldn't be using that term any longer. So understand also that before now, for anyone that is in TBC or happens to purchase any amount of kringles into his wallet, the minimum which he needs to do before now was $100, but right now it's no longer that term is no longer used. So what we use right now is 40 grains of gold. So whoever purchases into his wallet 40 grains of gold worth of kringles, one way or the other will be qualified for cookie reward as relating to the activity which the fellow has actually performed. So we should also understand this, that even in the business cards refer to goods and not to fiat. I mean, even in the business cards that we have, we refer to it as good, not as a fiat. So we should understand that the sooner we can unify ourselves, our members around the world as regarding the use of these terms, the better. That is, we change from fiat, then we embrace the usage of grains of gold. So the earlier we are able to unify ourselves across the world, the better. So let's come together as one and stay private. It is lawful to actually be private, even now that we are actually approaching our challengers lawfully, and we all have we all have to conclude that we are outside their jurisdiction. That is, those that are actually try to pose one challenge or the other to us, we understand that we are not within their jurisdiction, in that we are private, and there is no law that go against being private. So thank you. Even now that TBC has become the third cryptocurrency in the world, by the measure of usage, doing transactions and in kringles, in comparison to Ethereum being the first, and in comparison also to Bitcoin, which is the second. So we in TBC and Kringle is actually has become the third cryptocurrency in the world by measuring of usage. By the measurement of usage in transactions. So we are private, and we will never be on the coin market cap. For those who think a cryptocurrency must be on the coin market cap before it is valid, let them wake up. Today we are coming third as far as a transaction in cryptocurrencies is concerned, and there is a statistics that says that we have about 18 million people who have Kringle's wallets, but only hundreds of thousands are actually active. So now that this is it, so if it happens that all of the 18 million having a Kringle wallet wake up to become verified members and become active, then we TBC in TBC community, we shall be the first cryptocurrency doing transactions on the earth, on the surface of earth. So can we all see now that a big picture, and we can as well imagine what will happen and how close we are actually getting or moving closer to achieving our objective of a 1 billion membership. So by that we advise that we keep the fire burning within us. So to any newbie that is actually there, know this, that TBC is real, TBC is very genuine, and TBC community could be likened to a train that is carrying a surplus of all good things, which already is a gathering speed, gathering momentum that is heading to the paradise of abundance, which the creator originally created man for, or which the creator originally created for man. function in and to radiate in. So note that a TBC already is changing lives for good, and yourself that you are present in the community of TBC right now just wouldn't be an exception. And if you are out there watching me doing this broadcast, if you are a new prospect, understand also that yours wouldn't be an exception. You come into TBC, you will have a total turnaround as concerning your finance. So understand that TBC is money of the masses, and it's also money created by the masses and for the masses. So I will also advise that you do check the link that is below this video to get yourself registered for TBC, which is the billion coin. Included in the description field of this very broadcast is my contacts. You will have my WhatsApp number, my Telegram contacts, and my email address also. So I will advise you that you join the community of abundance today, join the community of TBC, and today is the time. Do that registration today, do it now. So understand also that if abundance you want in life, abundance you will have in TBC, and that will give you rest of mind, meaning peace of mind. That is our TBC for you altogether. That is what TBC stands for. So, and what we TBCians have is abundance. Understand that whenever anyone has abundance in life, then automatically there's going to be peace of mind. I mean, peace of mind will follow. And for that, I will actually be ending this broadcast for today by saying to you that abundance, peace, and TBC is the way. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.